Have you ever felt a subtle shift within yourself that you couldn't quite explain? A quiet change that moves through your spirit, touching parts of you that were once hidden or dormant. It's as if the noise of the world around you has grown louder, yet your spirit has found a place of peace amidst the chaos. The things that used to drain you now seem distant, no longer able to reach you in the same way. You may not be able to pinpoint the exact moment it happened, but you feel it. Something inside you is awakening. This awakening isn't just a fleeting moment of emotional clarity or mental realization. It is a profound spiritual transformation. When God begins to work within you, it doesn't remain invisible. It begins to manifest in ways you may never have expected through your thoughts, your words, your actions, and yes, even your body. The physical signs of spiritual elevation are unmistakable. They are not just superficial changes like a glow-up or a new posture. These signs run far deeper than skin-deep transformations, reaching the core of your being and spilling out into the world around you. In the Bible, Romans 1:2 reminds us not to conform to the patterns of this world, but to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. But what happens when that transformation doesn't stop at the mind? What happens when the spirit matures and begins to spill over into your physical existence? What happens when your soul is healed and as a result, your body begins to reflect that divine renewal? This message is about the undeniable physical changes that occur when your spiritual awakening is in full bloom. These signs are not easily explained away by diet, skincare, or workout routines. They are the result of a deeper sacred process. You may find that your skin starts to glow with a radiance that wasn't there before, or that your walk becomes lighter, more purposeful. Your voice, once perhaps laced with anxiety, now carries calm and assurance. You might even notice how your very presence begins to shift the energy in a room, unsettling some while healing others. Why? Because you are no longer the person you once were. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be, a reflection of your divine purpose and spiritual truth. This journey of transformation is not just for a select few, but for anyone willing to open themselves to the sacred process of healing. When heaven starts to move in your life, it doesn't just touch your heart or mind, it touches every part of you, even the physical, and the result is nothing short of extraordinary. By the end of this message, you'll be able to recognize some of the signs that show your spiritual advancement, and you might even see yourself in them, confirming that you are truly on this path of transformation. Stay with me because these signs are just the beginning of something even greater that's unfolding within you. One of the first and most noticeable signs of spiritual elevation is a shift in your appearance. A soft, youthful glow that returns to your skin. This transformation isn't the result of new skincare products or the latest beauty treatments, but something much deeper. It's a reflection of the healing and peace that have begun to take root in your soul. As you heal spiritually, you begin to let go of the emotional burdens and past wounds that once weighed heavily on you, and your body responds. At one point, your face may have held the marks of stress, worry, and unresolved pain. Your skin could have been tired and drawn with lines etched by anxiety and exhaustion. Perhaps your eyes carried the weight of old traumas, and your smile was strained, stretched thin by the pressures of performance and expectations. But now, as you've started to release that baggage through forgiveness, acceptance, and surrender, something beautiful begins to happen. Your skin starts to breathe again. You begin to glow. This glow isn't superficial or fleeting. It's the natural radiance that emerges when shame no longer has a grip on you, when guilt and regret no longer cloud your spirit. As Psalm 3:4-5 says, "Those who look to him are radiant, their faces are never covered with shame." This radiance is the evidence of a soul that is beginning to live in freedom. When your heart and mind are at peace, when you've allowed God's love and grace to wash over you, your physical appearance transforms. It's no longer about external effort. It's about the internal healing that flows through you and manifests outwardly. This glow doesn't just come from the absence of stress or hardship, but from the presence of something far more powerful: peace. As you begin to stop fighting against yourself, as you let go of the need to constantly strive, your face softens. The lines of tension fade. Your body, once in survival mode, is now able to relax, to restore. The forgiveness you've extended to others, and the forgiveness you've extended to yourself, transforms not only your emotional and spiritual state, but your physical state as well. It's a sacred divine process. When you look in the mirror now, it's not just a reflection of your face that you see. It's a reflection of your inner truth. You can see peace made visible. The glow that shines through your skin is a testimony of your journey, of how far you've come. It's a visible manifestation of the healing that has taken place in your soul. Others may begin to notice it too. They may comment on how you seem different, brighter, more alive. They may not understand why or what has changed, but their spirits will recognize the transformation. This is what happens when you allow the divine to work within you. You don't need to force it, and you don't need to explain it. Your peace, your joy, and your healing will radiate from you, and others will feel it. This glow is not a fleeting trend. It's a sign of something permanent. It's the evidence that you are becoming who you were always meant to be, a reflection of your true divine nature. When you let go of the weight of the world, when you trust the process of spiritual transformation, your spirit shines, and the world around you is invited to witness that light. As your spiritual journey deepens, one of the most profound physical transformations you will experience is in your eyes. They are often called the windows to the soul, and as your spirit awakens, your eyes will begin to reflect that transformation. No longer will they simply reveal the tiredness of your body or the stress of your mind. Instead, they will burn with a quiet, unshakable spiritual fire. There was a time when your eyes may have appeared weary, not from lack of sleep but from carrying the weight of unspoken truths and unhealed wounds. Your gaze may have been clouded with confusion, doubt, or sadness, and you may have found it hard to truly look at the world around you without feeling overwhelmed. But as your spiritual healing unfolds, your eyes begin to change. What once was a tired, distracted stare now becomes a powerful reflection of clarity and wisdom. When your spiritual energy aligns with divine truth, your vision begins to shift. You no longer simply see with the physical eyes, but perceive with a deeper spiritual understanding. You start to see people as they truly are, not just on the surface, but in their essence. You look through them rather than past them, perceiving their energy, their intentions, and the silent truths they may not even realize they carry. This shift in perception is not about judgment or superiority. It is about understanding. Your eyes begin to reflect the truth of what lies beneath the surface, and that insight transforms the way you interact with others. Proverbs 20:27 says, "The spirit of a man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the innermost parts of his being." Your eyes, now illuminated by the light of your spirit, become a tool of discernment. They reveal your own spiritual depth and your capacity to see beyond the surface. Where you once looked at life through a lens of pain, fear, or confusion, now you view it with clarity, patience, and grace. But what's truly remarkable is the way others will react to the change in your eyes. When you lock eyes with someone, it's no longer just a casual glance, it becomes a spiritual exchange. People may not even be able to explain why they pause when they look into your eyes, but their spirits will know. They may feel a sense of calm or clarity wash over them, as though they've encountered something more than just your physical presence. Your gaze becomes prophetic, offering a glimpse of what is possible when one surrenders to the divine flow of life. Your eyes begin to hold a quiet power, a fire that burns not with rage or frustration but with understanding and love. It's the kind of fire that has been forged through trials and suffering, the kind of fire that has survived the furnace and still chooses to love. And this spiritual fire in your eyes is not something you can fake or force. It is the result of healing, growth, and surrender. It's the evidence that you've walked through the fire and come out stronger, not scorched, but shining with a light that will never dim. In this way, your eyes become a testimony of your spiritual journey. They reflect the transformation that has occurred within you, the quiet, powerful changes that have taken place deep in your soul. Your eyes no longer just tell your story. They speak to the stories of others, revealing the depth of who you are and who they could become. Through your eyes, the world can see that healing is real and that transformation is possible. Your gaze becomes a reminder of the fire that burns within, a fire that is not just for you but for everyone around you. As your spiritual awakening deepens, it doesn't just touch your mind or heart, it reaches your very being, and one of the most striking changes can be seen in your skin. Your skin, which once may have carried the marks of stress, grief, or emotional turmoil, begins to radiate a unique glow that reflects your inner peace. This isn't a result of superficial beauty treatments or the latest skincare routine. It's a profound transformation that happens when your soul finds healing and freedom. For years, your body might have been a silent witness to your struggles. The tension you held in your muscles, the sleepless nights spent ruminating over past regrets, the anxiety that gripped your thoughts, all of these experiences were written in the very cells of your body. Your skin, which is a reflection of your emotional and physical health, might have shown signs of that stress. Breakouts, dullness, or dryness might have been a manifestation of your inner conflict. But as you step into spiritual alignment, this begins to change. Your skin, once burdened by unresolved emotional pain, begins to breathe again. Bitterness dissolves, resentment lifts, and in its place a soft glow emerges, not because of a new skincare regimen, but because you have stopped carrying the weight of what was never yours to bear. When you choose forgiveness both for others and for yourself, you begin to release the toxins that have accumulated within you, toxins that have affected not only your mind and heart but also your body. In Psalm 4:3-5 it says, "Why are you cast down, O my soul? Hope in God, for I shall again praise him." This verse speaks to the renewal of the soul, and when your soul is restored, your skin responds. The physical transformation you see in the mirror is the result of your inner world being restored. You no longer carry the heavy weight of guilt, shame, or fear. Instead, you carry hope, peace, and a quiet strength that shines through your skin. Your skin becomes a reflection of the inner freedom you have found. As your soul heals, your nervous system begins to trust again, and that trust is visible in the clarity and brightness of your skin. The tension that once held your body captive dissipates, and your body no longer anticipates attack or harm. It rests in the peace that has taken root deep within. This is why people begin to notice a difference in you even if they can't quite put their finger on it. Your glow is a reflection of your freedom, of the peace that comes from knowing that you are enough just as you are. This isn't beauty for beauty's sake. This is breakthrough. It's a beauty that has been earned in silence and solitude, in moments of surrender and acceptance. And it's a beauty that transcends appearance. It's a beauty that is grounded in the truth of who you are, a person who has embraced their flaws, their imperfections, and their past without allowing them to define their future. Your skin is no longer a battleground. It is a canvas for the peace you now carry within. In this transformation, even strangers will feel it. They might not know why, but there will be something about your presence that seems different. Something sacred. Your inner peace, now reflected in your skin, creates an aura that people are drawn to. Your presence becomes a reminder that healing is possible, and that true beauty is not just skin deep. It is a reflection of the light, love, and peace that flow from within. And as your skin radiates this inner freedom, it becomes a living testimony of the divine work that is unfolding in your life. As your spiritual transformation deepens, you may notice a subtle yet profound change in your physical body. One of the most significant signs of spiritual elevation is the way your weight shifts, not just physically, but spiritually. This change often happens first in the soul as you release the burdens of past pain, unhealed wounds, and toxic patterns. Then your body responds in kind, reflecting the inner healing you've experienced. For years you may have carried not only physical weight but emotional weight as well. The trauma, disappointments, and emotional scars from past experiences may have weighed you down, not just in spirit but in body. Your body may have felt heavy, sluggish, or depleted, and this physical weight was often linked to the spiritual and emotional burdens you were carrying. Whether from unresolved grief, suppressed emotions, or years of stress, your body became a silent witness to the weight of your soul. But as your spirit begins to heal, the weight begins to lift. This doesn't happen through extreme dieting or intense exercise regimens, but through a deep spiritual alignment. As you release the emotional pain and limiting beliefs that no longer serve you, your body naturally sheds the physical heaviness. This is not a superficial change, but a sacred shift that begins in the deepest part of your being. The heaviness that once clung to you, whether emotionally, mentally, or physically, begins to lift, leaving room for peace, clarity, and a renewed sense of purpose. Perhaps you've noticed that certain foods no longer have the same hold on you. What once gave you comfort in moments of stress or anxiety now feels unfulfilling, disconnected from who you are becoming. This is not a matter of discipline, but of discernment. You begin to crave nourishment for your body and soul, rather than indulgence in things that temporarily numb or distract. As your spiritual awareness grows, so does your awareness of how to care for your body. You stop feeding yourself out of fear, habit, or emotional voids, and instead start feeding yourself with purpose. This shift in your relationship with food and body is closely connected to the idea of spiritual timing and provision. In Exodus 16, when the Israelites were wandering in the wilderness, God didn't provide them with an abundance of food. Instead, He sent manna just enough to meet their needs each day. Similarly, as you step into spiritual alignment, you begin to trust in the provision that is given to you moment by moment. Your body learns to trust God's timing and provision, and in turn, it becomes more in tune with what it truly needs. This transformation often shows up physically as well. Some people may experience weight loss, not because they are dieting, but because their body is releasing the grief stored within it. Others may notice that their form fills out in areas that were once depleted as their spirit gains strength and the body begins to adjust to the new life it is preparing for. The body, like the soul, is recalibrating itself not for appearance but for assignment. The weight that once kept you grounded in past hurts and limitations is now being replaced with the strength needed for your next chapter. Your body is no longer holding on to past fears or emotional traumas. It is preparing for what's ahead, and the weight shift is a reflection of this new season in your life. It is a sign that your soul is no longer weighed down by the past, and as a result, your body is now ready to carry the purpose and calling God has for you in this new season. The changes you experience in your body are not about fitting into a particular mold, but about aligning your physical self with the truth of who you are in spirit. This shift is a reminder that your body and spirit are deeply interconnected. As your spirit is healed and transformed, your body responds in kind, and as your body sheds the weight of old burdens, it becomes a vessel for the new energy, purpose, and clarity that are unfolding within you. The weight that once held you back is now being replaced by the strength and vitality needed to step fully into your divine calling. You are no longer carrying the weight of the world. You are stepping into your purpose with lightness, clarity, and strength. As your spiritual awakening deepens, it inevitably influences the way you carry yourself, and one of the most significant physical changes is your posture. When you begin to align with your true spiritual self, you naturally stand taller, not out of pride, but out of remembrance. Remembrance of who you truly are and the divine purpose you are meant to fulfill. This is a posture of sovereignty, a posture that declares you are no longer bowing to external pressures, to shame, or to past patterns of behavior. Instead, you are standing firm in the truth of who you are, aligned with the divine flow of life and purpose. In the past, you may have found yourself shrinking to fit into spaces that no longer served you. Whether it was a physical space, a relationship, or a situation, you may have bent, lowered your head, or adjusted your posture to accommodate expectations that didn't align with your truth. Maybe you felt the weight of others' opinions, the pressure to conform, or the need to shrink yourself just to fit in. But as you grow spiritually, your inner transformation naturally causes you to stop shrinking. You begin to rise both figuratively and literally. This shift in posture goes beyond simple body mechanics. It's a powerful symbol of inner healing and alignment. It's a sign that you no longer live in fear or shame. As your spirit grows stronger, so does your physical alignment. You begin to carry yourself with grace, dignity, and a sense of purpose. Your spine straightens, and your body becomes an extension of the confidence and clarity that reside in your soul. It's as though every step you take is a declaration of your divine sovereignty, a sign that you are no longer bound by the expectations of others, but are living in alignment with your true self. The Bible offers a powerful example of this transformation in Luke 13 when Jesus encounters a woman who had been bent over for 18 years. When he heals her, she is not only physically straightened, but her dignity is restored. The healing of her posture symbolizes the restoration of her inner strength and worth. This is what happens when you step into spiritual alignment. It's not just about changing how you stand, but about reclaiming your dignity, your identity, and your God-given power. Your new posture is a reflection of your spiritual sovereignty. It is not arrogance or pride, but a quiet confidence that radiates from deep within. It speaks volumes without uttering a single word. People may begin to notice the way you carry yourself, your stillness, your grace, your unshakable presence. You no longer bend under the weight of judgment, expectations, or shame. Instead, your posture reflects your alignment with your divine purpose, and the world around you can't help but notice. This shift also affects the way others interact with you. People start to move differently around you. They pause when you enter a room, not because you are demanding attention, but because your presence has become unmistakable. It's as though you are radiating an energy of calm authority, a kind of peaceful strength that cannot be ignored. Your posture commands respect not out of ego, but because it reflects your deep connection to your higher self and the divine. When you stand in your spiritual sovereignty, you are no longer just existing, you are living in your full power. You are walking with purpose, and your presence becomes a living testament to the healing and transformation you have undergone. Your posture is a reflection of the fact that you are aligned with the truth of who you are, and in that alignment you find a kind of grace and power that others can't help but notice. This is the beauty of spiritual transformation. It doesn't just affect your mind or your emotions. It spills over into every aspect of your life, including the way you stand, walk, and interact with the world. When your inner world is in alignment with your divine purpose, it naturally shows in your outward posture, creating a ripple effect that impacts everyone you encounter. Your spiritual journey is no longer something you simply talk about. It is something you embody with every step you take. As your spiritual journey unfolds, and you continue to align with your higher self, one of the most profound changes that begins to take place is the way you move through the world. Movement, once driven by urgency, anxiety, and the hustle of daily life, begins to transform. Your gestures become slower, more deliberate, and most importantly, they reflect the peace and stillness that have taken root in your soul. This shift is not about forcing yourself to move differently, but rather about allowing your inner peace to dictate how you move, how you express yourself, and how you interact with the world around you. In the past, you may have rushed through life constantly, chasing after the next task, the next goal, or the next moment of peace. Every movement, every step felt urgent, driven by a sense of scarcity and the belief that if you didn't hurry, you would miss something or fall behind. Your body mirrored this inner chaos, moving quickly, almost unconsciously from one thing to the next. But as your spirit begins to heal and find alignment, your body responds by slowing down. The frantic energy that once characterized your every movement is replaced by a sense of rhythm, grace, and calm. You no longer feel the need to rush or overcorrect. You move with purpose, but without force. Each step you take is more intentional, more grounded. Even the smallest actions, opening a door, sitting in a chair, pouring a drink, take on a new quality. They are no longer hurried or distracted. Instead, they are done with intention, presence, and mindfulness. This shift is a direct result of the inner peace that has been cultivated through spiritual healing. As your mind, heart, and soul find stillness, your body naturally follows suit. The Bible reminds us, in Ecclesiastes 3:1, that there is a time for everything. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. You have come to understand that there is a time for stillness and a time for movement. When you are in a state of spiritual alignment, you find balance between these two. You no longer feel the need to rush through life to fill every moment with activity or noise. Instead, you have learned to move with yourself, to flow with your spirit, and to honor the rhythms of your own soul. This transformation in movement doesn't go unnoticed by others. People begin to notice the difference in your energy, your tempo, and the way you interact with the world. You no longer rush through interactions or fidget in your seat. Instead, your presence becomes a calm force that others are drawn to. They may not know exactly why, but the stillness that emanates from you is contagious. It invites others to slow down, to be present, and to feel at peace. Your movements no longer reflect anxiety or restlessness. Instead, they are an embodiment of grace and power. When you move with purpose, others can sense it. They can feel the energy of someone who has found their center, someone who is not driven by external pressures, but is deeply rooted in their inner truth. Your movements become a sermon in themselves, a message of peace, surrender, and trust. You are no longer chasing after external validation or seeking approval. You are simply being, and in that being, you are radiating the peace that comes from being in alignment with your true self. This shift in how you move is a reflection of how you are choosing to live. You are no longer living for the approval of others or chasing after something outside of yourself. Instead, you are moving with the flow of divine timing, trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. Your movements are no longer frantic or driven by fear. They are a natural expression of the peace and purpose that have been cultivated within you. And in this stillness, in this quiet rhythm, you become a living testament to the power of spiritual alignment, a living example of what it means to move with peace, purpose, and grace. As we journey through life, we often look for signs of progress, growth, and transformation. While spiritual awakening is deeply personal and may not always be visible to the world, there are undeniable physical signs that reflect the profound shifts taking place within. The transformation isn't just about adopting new habits or changing how we look on the outside. It's about a deep sacred process of alignment with our true selves and with the divine purpose we are meant to fulfill. The physical changes we experience are a natural outpouring of the inner work we do to heal, grow, and surrender to the flow of life. As we've explored, these signs are not the result of superficial efforts or quick fixes. They are a reflection of a deeper spiritual transformation that starts within and manifests outwardly. Whether it's the glow in our skin, the fire in our eyes, the way our posture changes, or the peace in our movements, each of these signs speaks to the sacred work happening in our souls. Our bodies are not just vessels, they are instruments of divine expression, revealing the beauty and power of spiritual awakening. When your spirit is healed, your body reflects that transformation. The heavy weight you once carried emotionally and spiritually begins to lift, and your body follows suit. You become lighter, not just physically, but energetically. Your choices in food, movement, and posture are no longer driven by fear or external validation, but by an alignment with your higher self and divine truth. This shift is not just about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you were always meant to be. You stop conforming to the expectations and pressures of the world around you, and instead, you stand in your sovereign power, grounded in truth, peace, and purpose. The transformation is not limited to external appearances. It touches every aspect of your being. It shapes how you see the world, how you interact with others, and how you move through life. When you embody the peace and stillness that come from spiritual alignment, your very presence becomes an invitation for others to experience the same. You become a living example of healing, a testimony to the power of divine transformation. In this journey, it's important to remember that this process is sacred, ongoing, and deeply personal. While others may notice the changes in you, the true significance lies in how you feel, in the peace that now governs your heart, the clarity that guides your decisions, and the freedom you experience as you embrace the fullness of who you are. So as you continue on your path of spiritual awakening, take note of these signs. They are not just physical markers of growth. They are divine confirmations that you are aligning with your highest purpose. As your spirit rises, so will your body, and together they will reflect the beauty and power of the transformation that is unfolding within you. Remember, this is not the end of a journey, but the activation of a higher assignment, a calling to step fully into who you were always meant to be. Embrace it, walk in it, and allow your transformation to become a beacon of light for others on their own path.